Hello, everyone, and welcome to our. I'm trying to do weekly, weekly wind down Wednesday. What up, Wednesday? What's going on? Wow, Wednesday. Whatever you want your W to be, it could be it, right? So it could be a worship Wednesday, whatever you really want it to be. So initially, I think that might just be my new introduction. How did we get here? So initially, because October 1st is on Friday, that is officially the beginning of our fourth quarter. So for me, it's like with the fourth quarter, you know, we've done all this other stuff, all the other 9 months of the year. But it's like, how are we going to finish? They always say, that's where you make your money. That's when the fourth quarter is where the winner, the loser is determined. Whether you do not pass goal, do not collect $200, or either you pass goal, you collect $200. But the fourth quarter is very, the fourth quarter is very, it's a pivotal point. So initially I was jumping on here just to talk to you guys and say, hey, how are you going to welcome in not just the fourth quarter, but what you're doing for October? It's a lot of things going on, as always. I always log into my live on Facebook just in case I'm missing some comments. Okay, so there. All righty. So I can see myself in the comments. Oh, hey, husband. It's my husband. But as I was beginning to prepare, well, I was going to talk about the fourth quarter, I was like, Spirit was like, yo, can we talk about trials? Can we talk about trials? Because in this fourth quarter, you really should be doing an assessment of how your last 9 months have been. Have you fallen asleep behind the wheel, where you play pimping the first 3 months and then, went on a sabbatical the next 3 months, and now you're trying to play catch up. So the fourth quarter is very important because you're setting, I feel it doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish. So this last quarter is very important. We have 90-ish days left. Come October 1st, we have 90-ish days. And it's very important what we do with it. I mean, because although folks may not admit it, you should be assessing yourself. And you should be assessing, did I do what I said I was going to do? Did I achieve the goals that I set for myself? Now, me, I no longer, hey, Jen, I no longer set New Year's resolutions because I just think, it's a resolution. And why wait for New Year's when every day you can wake up and decide to do something different? You could decide to become better. So that's why I never make resolutions. However, I do believe in manifestation, and I do write down everything that I ask God for. And I also keep a log of when he did it. So in my Bible, if you go to my Bible, I have my petitions to God in Habakkuk 2:2. And even when I add an additional one, I include the date. So it'll be the date, it'll be what I asked him. But even when things, God makes it happen, things come to fruition, I write down the date just so for me, I'll just know, in better telling my story, because I know that part of what God gives for me isn't really for me, it's for others. So as I was doing research, y'all know normally I talk to my husband about the subject. He probably gonna come in here and probably start shouting. But I looked up the definition for the word trial. And it says a formal examination of evidence before a judge and typically a jury in order to decide guilt in a case. And then the definition was like the newspaper accounts of the trial. So my question is, what is your account? Because you could be judge and jury. You don't need a judge and jury. You don't need anybody to recap what's been going on in your life. Who knows better than you? Right? So think about that. And then the second definition is a test of the performance, qualities, or suitability of someone or something. So these trials is a test of what you're made of. Mentally, physically, spiritually, sometimes financially, emotionally. A test of the performance. Like, how do you do under pressure? How do you operate when you're stressed? How do you operate when your light bill is $100 and you only got 50? What you gonna do? Suitability of something. Like, are you fit for this? People be like, I'm made for this. No, are you made for this? Are you made for what you want? Are you made, you want to be a boss, but you want to be a boss, but you don't want to act like a boss, or you don't want the responsibilities of a boss, or you want to be in charge, right? But you don't want the responsibility of, showing up first, right? So the test of the performance, qualities, or suitability of something or someone. And I really said, are you made of it? Like, is it in you? Because these trials will tell you whether you are a man or a mouse. Let's just say that. It really pulls out your grit. Then the verb, test something especially new to assess its suitability. And so that really just spoke to me about trials, because we always talk about our trials. But finish the story. We talk about the trial, we talk about the tribulation, but let's talk about the account. Let's talk about the evidence that was presented. That you are an overcomer, you are resilient, you did make it happen. Whatever you became free from it, whatever it is, because we all got our own it. I don't care what anybody say. Like, you were released from it. So let's examine the facts. And I think that is so powerful that we should do ourselves. It's nice if you got a hype man to be like, girl, you did that, or your presentation. But what's even more amazing is when we can recount our own stuff. Because when we really recount our own stuff, we will see our strengths. And I actually think being aware of, for me to be aware of my weaknesses, that's a strength as well. Because guess what? That weakness ain't going to be weak much longer. And it just shows me a vulnerability that I have that I need to strengthen. And so I'm not saying that everybody, so I'm not promoting this superwoman syndrome, or I could do everything and I don't need people. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you have to be very self-aware. I know at the 9 o'clock, the butter from the duck is gone. It is nothing less left in the tank, because I get up, I start work at 7, and I give in everything that I am doing. I'm giving it 100% of what I have. So I kind of go to bed on empty, and that's how I want it to be. Who leaves something on the floor? Like, my employers pay me to produce, and that's what the F I do. I produce. Heck, I pay me. Being the CEO of my own company, I pay myself. I pay myself to create content. I pay myself, because trying to not trying, making the world a better place is not easy. Before I could give y'all a word, guess what? I got to get about 2 or 3 other words, like not just at the top of my head, but in my heart. So, and in some professions, especially when you provide a service, we really give more of ourselves than we think we do. And so, also in this trial, it says in law, a trial is a coming together of parties to dispute, to present information, a formal setting with the authority to adjudicate claims or disputes. So let me tell you how that blessed my soul. Because so when you do this with yourself, sometimes the negativity pops up. You ain't even got to ask for it. That ish come through your inbox. It may come on your phone. Like negativity, unfortunately, regardless of how much light we put out to the universe or darkness, the darkness is attracted to us because we are indeed putting out light, right? So, but in the trial is when you get to send all that negative stuff back to where it came from. If it's not, you don't claim it. Send it back. Hey, look, a return to sender and never to return again. If anybody ever said anything about you that in your heart is not true, return to sender. You don't have to keep anything. And that's on a real. That's with words. Heck, that's even with gifts. You don't have to send that shit back. I told y'all he was coming. Come here, husband. I told y'all he was coming, right? But here he go. Come on.
Look, send that shit back. Send it back. Like, yo, you ain't gotta own up to whatever folks throw at you, right? Cause they always gonna throw you some bulls. They always are, right? You always gonna have some naysayers, but yo, you ain't gotta accept it. Send it back. That's what trial for. Send it back. So yeah, I had to come on and give them a praise dance on that one.
And that's the thing. Like really when you best, you and God. And God doesn't say that you're a failure. God doesn't say you're trash. God doesn't say you're not worthy. He's not saying that stuff. So for real, go look and read. I always keep a book nearby. Oh, and I got it. God says we are healed. God says we are blessed. God says we have a house on a hill. God says, where you walk is blessed. God says you are the apple of his eye. God says you were intentional. You were on purpose. He knew everything about you before you were born. He knew about you when you were before your mother even formed, before you were even formed in your mother's womb. So who you gonna believe, God or these folks out here that are miserable? Like, so that's what it comes down to, is like we all have our own individual trials. Like, for real, we have our own individual trials. And I am not, trust me, I get it. I get it when people try to slander your name, when people try to take stuff from up under you, like your possessions, when people try to hinder you moving forward. And that negativity, sometimes the negativity is so loud, but God is that still voice. Sorry. So, but that's have your own trial. I don't care who said it. Sit down at a table and write down what they said. First off, who were them and they? I don't know who those people, but write down what they said and then write down what God said. And then write down what you know to be true. Because I know God says it, but God may say it, but we don't apply it to our life until we believe it. So yeah, that whole trial thing really got me excited. It got me so excited because it's a test. Like, this is a test, meaning this is going to pass. Them fire drills we used to have at work or at school or an examination, that's just to see where you are with it. That's to see where you are financially, emotionally. Like, these are tests of, have we matured? Have we moved on to the next step? Because if you're 30 plus, you still doing stuff you used to do when you were 20, no, it's a test and you failed. If you react the same way time after time after time, you haven't passed the test. So do a little research. You know how, like, a test, if you didn't pass that last test or that last trial, but that you will never go any further than the last test that you passed. So what do you do? What do we do when we know we got a test coming up? You prepare for it. As I always talk about, I know my triggers. I know my triggers. I even know, I even know who I trigger. Like, I just know some people. I know who I trigger. Is something I can't do nothing about it. But I do pray that I am no longer a trigger for them. I was talking to my best friend Jennifer, and I told her it's easy to pray for the people. It's easy to pray for the people that we love. The trial, the test comes when we have to pray for those, that they ain't on our Christmas list. But they're not. If it wasn't for God, you would really not want to have any interaction with them. And so that's where I challenge myself. Y'all should see my prayer list. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. Because I pray for everybody. I really do. Even those that have treated me a certain way. A peeve of mine is for folks to be dismissive. And for people that I feel to use me. Yeah, that's a peeve of mine. So there has been situations where people have used me, and I've addressed it, and next thing you know, it's crickets, right? And guess what I do? I pray for them. And it's not even in a bad way. Because maybe they don't know, or maybe that's been their MO, or maybe that's what they were taught. I haven't invested that much time to know their why or their reason, but I know people like that are triggers for me. So I do things so that I won't fail the test, and that is to disengage. That's just Nancy. That's me. That's how I deal with it. I pray, but I disengage, but I pray until God gives me the strength to re-engage. But he'll tell me what I need to do with a person, because I do realize that every interaction that I have with people is on purpose, and with every exchange, and that's what I want to share with the world, is every exchange you have with a person was on purpose. It was intended. It was not a mistake. You were to get something from them, and they are to get something from you. So for me, every interaction that I have, I know it's something I'm supposed to leave with That's why I actively listen. And I know, and I'm intentional with my words because I know that it's something that they're supposed to get from me. And I'm making sure that they're getting the best of me, not what's left of me. And that after 9 p.m., Nancy is probably tired, might be a little cranky. And that's not the best of me. So that's why, like, I really cut off about 9 o'clock. So that's about it for this one. But you guys, what are you guys really? What are you doing for the rest of this fourth quarter? What I'm doing is um, I really leaned forward in my life coaching. Really, really, really leaned forward in my life coaching. Um, I am now one of 30 vendors for AFES that they're having different it's this organization called Veterans Grow America, and where I'm one of like 30 that will have been approved to be like a representative for some of these veteran organizations and AFES or the PX. Some know it as that. And I will get to showcase Coach in the City and the City Life Company. Maybe like twice a quarter. So my first event is October 16th up here at Fort Meade, Maryland. I'm sharing, I'm like 95% positive that I'm going to put in for a veterans grant. It's like $25,000. And what else am I doing? Oh, you guys, I'm actually 4 years later going to walk with my master's degree. So I'll be going to do that on the 22nd. So invitations will be coming out. Why? Because I'm celebrating me. That's why I got 30 invitations. Y'all are getting them within the next 5 days. But I'm celebrating myself, and that's how I'm going to end 2021. I'm ending 2021 doing everything that I said I wanted to do, including the things that I have done that was a byproduct of the things I said I was going to do. And I'm going to, like, one great thing I'm taking into 2022 is celebrating myself, not in an egotistical way, but I'm not afraid to tell the world what's next with Coach in the City. Like, so you shouldn't either. If your kid is graduating, say your kid's graduating, you got a job, you're, going for a fellowship, put it out there. Like, I hear so many people, don't let your enemies know what y'all ain't my enemies. Like, and whatever, if you listen, God is for me, so don't none of that other stuff matter for real. But like, you sharing your dreams, your goals, and you sharing resources, like, God give you credit for that. The universe honors. You know what? You ain't selfish. Because I think sometimes that's why people don't want to share what they're doing. But I would just say, are you going to trust yourself more than you trust God? Or not? And put it out there, because people can't like, if as an entrepreneur, right? I want everybody to think of, hey, you know, a life coach, you need somebody that might need funding. I need y'all to think of me. If Black, disabled, veteran, anything, put my name in a hat. Send me a link, because guess what? When I see they have like things like, hey, do you know a teacher that could use $1,000? Absolutely. You know how many teachers I know? You know how many counselors I know? That's what I've been doing. This past like 2 weeks, I've been, as I come across things, I share it with a counselor. Even if I can't nominate them, I'll say, hey, I thought about you for this, or because what comes through my algorithm might not come through theirs, or my resource network may not be their resource network. But it's positivity, it's support. That's that community that we all say we want, but don't know how to grow or incorporate. So that's what it's about. It's about sharing resources, because what's meant for Coach in the City, what's meant for Nancy, what's meant for the City Life Company. What else I got going on, right? What's meant for me is meant for me, and it's not going to take anything out of your mouth. It's not going to take anything from your bottom line. Just like what's meant for you is meant for you. And I believe in growing that committee and strengthening that community. We have to do more than we've been doing. Like, how are you gonna say you my girl or you my people, but you don't know anybody that don't know a life coach? Or I'll say, oh, you my person, and you're like a certified fitness instructor or a personal trainer, and I'm not sending people your way. Because these are all little tests. These are tests to see whether you're selfish. These are tests, because why would I receive a whole bunch of stuff about a whole bunch of things about teachers? I know the Lord knows I'm not an instructor, I'm not a teacher, I'm not a counselor, because he's going to see, what am I going to do with that information? Am I just going to be selfish and say that don't apply to me? Or am I going to pass it on to somebody that could possibly benefit and eat off of it? So, as I'm about to go, thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. I really do look up the definition. I recommend that you look up the definition for trial. And for you to dispute all that negative stuff that people are saying about you, and dispute it. Because when you don't dispute it, you keep it. That's the thing. Ask anybody about it. What you don't refute, you retain. So, you don't have to do it in an open forum. You could do it by yourself. But what I'm saying is, all that stuff people have been saying about you, that is bothersome. I mean, like it might not hurt you, but that stuff is bothersome because it's not true. So if it was said to you, if you heard it, if somebody vocalized it or wrote it, say that's return the sender, because if not, you're going to retain it. And then when I look at my body, you know how they have like the temperature bulbs, and it'll show like, for goal setting. Well, that's how you have to treat your body, or look at your body, with what you take in. How much of it is positive? How much of it is negative? How much of it is the truth? How much of it is a lie? And if it's negative, it's all lies, because God didn't say it was so. So dispute all that stuff. And then on our next section, I'll talk to you about how to go back and tell people, you a lie. That's not who I am. That's not what God says. So I hope you guys have an awesome remainder of September, because October is right around the corner. If y'all see me, I have on a jacket because it's cold. I had on a dress. Well, I have on a dress. I'm trying to be cute around my husband, but that temperature dropped to like 60-something degrees. So I'm still trying to flounce around them. So I just had to put on a jacket. So I hope you guys have an awesome remainder of the week. And I'll be in touch. Not on Mondays. I might do a recorded message because now I'm in another discipleship. So it's on Monday nights from 6:30, actually, 6:30 to 9. But somehow, be it at lunchtime, I think I might record it. But I love Motivation Mondays, because so many awesome things happen. And I just feel that that's what I want to put out, like the awesomeness, just the blessings, hey, we can do it. You can do it. Like, we can do this thing together. You know, as I always say, you have not because you ask not. So my question is, have you asked? So I'm asking, have you guys signed up for that I Am 5K? It's open till December 31st. We have plenty of space left. Proceeds are going to the United National Scholarship Fund, and that's through like the Masons and Eastern Stars, and for the Breast of Us, which is a organization that supports brown women of color, women of color that have been diagnosed with breast cancer, and it assists them in healthcare resources, which in turn, we know that if they have great resources in healthcare, it will increase the likelihood of their surviving. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If y'all know somebody I need a life coach right here, coachingthecity.com. I haven't even been on since I told y'all I have finished my website. Y'all go check it out. www.coachinthecity. I know I got a banner. www.coachinthecity.com. And probably starting tomorrow, I will start uploading all my merchandise. So as always, thank you all for your support. Please share this video. This live will be up for maybe tonight, but tomorrow you'll only be able to see this Wind Down Wednesday, What's Up Wednesday, What's Going On, What We Doing Wednesday on YouTube. So love and light to you all. Be blessed. And remember, God hears your prayers and he answers them as well. And delay is not denial. So y'all take care. Have an awesome one. Goodbye.